So I want to show you how to wire your prototype. What we want to do is when we click on circle, the site scrolls down to circle. When I click on square, it goes down to square, and triangle goes down to triangle. In the web world, these are called anchors or anchor links. Yeah, so I'm on my prototype DLT, and I'm on prototype as my area that I'm working in. So I can come to circle, and when I hover over, I can get my little circle with the plus sign there, and I can click and drag so I get my wire. Come on, wire, and it wants to wire to circle, which is good. Scroll down so my interaction is a bit lower. So trigger on click, so yes, that's correct. When I click, I want it to scroll to the destination, which is this circle area, and the animation is currently instant. So if I come in and test, give it a second to refresh, and I click on circle, it automatically scrolls down to circle. But actually what I want to do is have it show it scroll down. We kind of see that quite often when we have these in-page links or anchor links. So what I'm going to do is for animation, instead of instant, I'm going to choose animate, and I'm going to choose linear, and that's just going to let it slide from top to bottom in a linear fashion. And 30 milliseconds, that sounds great. We'll just leave it at that for now, and if I need more, I'll increase it. So press play, let this refresh, click on circle, and that's pretty good. One thing to note is if, for example, I had my header be fixed, which means it stays as the rest of the page scrolls. So I'm just going to choose it for it to be fixed. If I press play, let it refresh. When I press play, we can see the header's now fixed. Everything sort of scrolls behind it. So if I click on circle, it winds up being too, it doesn't land properly. So when I come back to my interaction options here, we have this area called offset, and I can offset on the y-axis. I know because I've done this before that it's actually going to be a negative number, so maybe like negative 120 pixels is my guess. I think is about right. I'm gonna press play, and if I click on circle, okay, because I know how tall my header is, so that's how come that works. But I might actually want a little bit more. It's a little bit close to the top there. So I'm going to come in, and you can actually do math with these little squares. So 120, and if I subtract another 20, 140, and if I press play and let it refresh, click on circle, that's better. All right, so now I'm going to wire up square and triangle. So I've clicked on square, I've got my little blue, or I've pulled my wire out. I can just sort of scroll down and get it to connect to square. On click, scroll to the square area, and I'm going to need another offset because that header is fixed and I want it to be linear, so that's great. Press play, let it refresh. Square goes to square, and then of course we can do triangle. Maybe I'll just zoom out a bit here so it's easier. Triangle goes to triangle. Yeah. There we go. Triangle goes to triangle, but of course I don't have much on the bottom, so it just goes as close as it can. But there we go. That's how we wire up our DLT page to make it work. And then for phone, so some of you may have a menu that actually shows what the menu items are visibly in the phone. A lot of times we don't have enough room for that. So we need to or the more common solution for that is to create a hamburger menu. So to do that, you just need another artboard that's the same width as the artboard you're working in, so 393 pixels wide. The menu could be, depending on your design, whatever you choose for your design, the menu could be, as tall as the viewport for the phone, or you can make it a little bit shorter. So mine just went, or I just wanted to show you one with it being a little bit shorter. Whatever your design calls for, that's fine. Once again, I'm in prototype, so I haven't changed anything. And what I want is, when I click menu, for this menu to sort of slide in. It's called an overlay, so it's sliding in over top of the content that's already there. So overlay is what we're going to be looking for when we make this interaction. So I'm going to click on menu, and I've got my little wire, and I want to wire it to my menu artboard. Trigger is on tap, so that's correct. So on tap or on click. And I don't want it to navigate to that page. It's not a separate screen. It is an overlay. So I want to open overlay. You can choose where that overlay lands. So, so on tap, we want to open the overlay, and the overlay we want to open is menu. So I've called it menu here at the top. Position centered, animation instant. With it centered, the overlay is going to wind up kind of in the center of the viewport of the artboard. So I want it to maybe be top left. I'm gonna have to see if that's what I actually want. So what I'll do is press play. And if I click on menu, there it appears, so that's not too bad. If I wanted to, I can come back, and if none of these quite worked for me, I could choose manual, and I get a little interface here that kind of shows, like, I can sort of show where it's going to land. So maybe I want it to be like a little bit lower, not quite where it was. So maybe I'll try that. So that's what manual does. Lets you choose the position of where the overlay will land. And then as well for the animation, I didn't want it to just appear. I wanted to move in, and the direction is correct. I wanted to move in this direction from right to left, but I could choose other options as well. And yeah, just a linear animation is great. So I'm going to close that and press play. And when I click on menu, there we go. Of course, I can't click out of it because I haven't actually done that part of the animation yet. So if I come to this little X, I can click and drag my wire, so back to the actual phone prototype. And what I want it to do is close the overlay. Yeah. So if I press play and it refreshes. Oh, there we go. Had the wrong board selected. There we go. So that's how you would do a menu overlay for phone. Something to note for phone is because the menu is on a separate artboard, that means that you cannot do what we just did for DLT. You cannot make the menu item scroll to something on the page. So the only sort of menu animation that you can do for phone is this overlay one, if you are having the menu on a separate artboard. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.